Hello and welcome to SkeleTales. I don't fucking remember what I'm supposed to say. Oh. Hi. my name is Alissa. What am I supposed to say? Oh my god, I never do this part.
And my name is Britt.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Hi, my name is Alissa.
And I'm Britt.
And this is SkeleTales.
This is the podcast that asks the age-old question of, is my dead grandma watching me?
She is, Britt. You know, when you're playing Frisbee and you're having a grand old time, throwing that old Frisbee around, maybe the aerobie. Do you remember those?
Oh.
An orange round Frisbee.
Yeah.
Not that Frisbees are normally not round. This one was also round. It didn't have a
But
center.
also orange.
And also orange.
Oh,
It was more like a donut.
Oh, I didn't know. Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So you're throwing the old disc around, the old Frisbee around, and all of a sudden, whoomp, up on the roof.
Every freaking time.
Can't reach it, up on the roof.
Yes.
It was Grandma.
Grandma, you don't like that tomfoolery? I knew it.
Nope. She's like, you're going to fucking Frisbee your eye out. Frisbee that eye right out.
Broken window. You're going to break that window.
Yep. She's put the hammer down. She's like, oh, I'll use my little angel wings and whoops, oops, on the roof. Fun over. Go knit something, children. Go do something.
Go read a book. This is my grandma would say, go clean your room. It's filthy.
Oh, she would?
Say.
Oh,
she's a clean freak through and through. There was one time we were visiting and it was her birthday, and we were surprise birthday for Grandma, and so we're like, okay, let's get her house all cleaned up for her. And so we start cleaning, and my aunt's there too, and I'm visiting, and we're cleaning, and she would come in and be like, oh, let me do the dishes, and we were like, no, sit down, Grandma, relax. She went into a rage. She was like, how dare you stop me from doing the one thing I love most? I was like, cleaning? That's the one thing you love most.
I am so confused by this, Grandma. It gave her a purpose. Because it's such a foreign thing to me. I like being organized. I love things tidy. But my only solution to that is just throwing everything away. Like, I just can't. I'm not capable of, like, really organizing it regularly. I just have to just empty my house of anything extraneous, and that's my solution. And the process of cleaning is so horrible, Grandma.
Oh, I know. I did not inherit that from her, unfortunately. But
I want her to haunt us, Grandma.
I've got a lot of laundry here in the closet with me, so
yeah, Grandma Britt,
get with the cleaning.
Yeah,
that had nothing to do with a Frisbee, but.
No, I didn't know that about your grandma, so I am now happy to learn a little bit more about Grandma Britt.
I have a funny story. Yeah, we're learning about this. Is my grandma Nina. When she would come to visit, her favorite thing to do is clean. So the activity that we all got wrangled into was cleaning the house. And there was one time she wanted me to clean my room, and I was so not wanting to clean my room that I went into my bedroom. Oh, yeah. I'm going to go clean in here. And I crawled under my bed, and I was like, I'm just going to wait this out. I really don't want to clean. I'm just going to wait under my bed until this passes. Maybe it'll just pass. While I was waiting, I fell asleep under my bed for a couple of hours. And then I woke up and I was like, it worked. I don't have to clean anymore. Success. And I crawled out from under my bed, and my grandma was like, oh, good, you're awake. Let's clean your room now.
Oh, such a grandma thing to do. Oh, Grandma.
Such a grandma thing.
Okay, well, no wonder she's cursing our podcasts. Damn it. Hey, do we just talk about Frisbees, clean freaks, and grandmas, Britt?
Well, grandmas, yes, but Frisbees and clean freaks?
Not often.
Sometimes.
If you have a haunted Frisbee that just flies by itself.
It just hovers over you as you sleep.
Yeah. Are you haunted by a Frisbee? Write us.
We tell paranormal. We tell spooky, fun. You know, if it's strange and unusual and paranormal, bring it. If it's just strange, if it's
creepy,
weird,
we'll take it all.
Creepy and weird. Write us and call us and we'll decide if it works. It will. Just do it.
It will. Doesn't matter. We will read almost anything you send us. Literally almost anything. Just send us.
Speaking of reading things, do you have a story tonight?
I do have a story. I'm going to get right into it, Britt. I'm going to get right into it. So my first story tonight comes from Dora. And Dora says, my Aunt Bonnie was a no-nonsense Southern lady who could till a field, cook up a storm, and whistle the birds out of the trees.
Oh, I love that.
I know. I want to be able to whistle birds out of the trees. I just try to feed the crows in hopes they will bring me treasure. It hasn't happened yet. That's my goal.
That's a great idea.
I hear it can happen.
Some
and we
gold rings?
Yeah. Holy shit. I didn't even think of gold rings. I thought they were just going to bring me like soda cans.
More crystals.
Shit. I don't know what I thought. I just want to be friends with the birds and the crows. Anyway.
I love that you are a witch.
I am. I hate brooms. Love cats. Have a toad nest. I got to get some more witchy shit.
You do have a toad nest.
I have a toad nest,
Oh
several toads. I could get an eye of Newt if I needed to. There are newts abound. Because there's the rough-skinned newt here. I could catch one. They're really deadly. They are like the deadliest thing in the in North America, the rough-skinned newt.
Newts are?
It is more lethal than rattlesnakes, all that. It has a neurotoxin, the same neurotoxin that is found in pufferfish. Okay.
Whoa.
So it is an adorable, like red little newt with a bright yellow underbelly. And if it gets scared, it will like throw its head back and show you its underbelly. And the reason I know this is because I have an adorable picture of Milo holding one of these newts in his hand.
No.
And it excretes neurotoxins through its skin. When it's scared, it's doing the little spoony thing. Okay. So I wanted to post a picture of this. I was like, what is this adorable little newt that he is holding? It is just so cute. Do a little Google search and up pops the rough-skinned newt, the deadliest animal in North America. So there were 3 hunters that were found dead around a campfire in Oregon back in the 1960s. And they were just sitting in their chairs and it didn't look to be they were murdered. There was just no signs of foul play. It was unexplained. No one knew how these hunters died. And the only thing out of the ordinary was a dead newt in their coffee pot. And so these hunters, the theory goes, they made freaking newt tea. During this camping trip, unbeknownst to them, the newt had climbed into the coffee pot. They boiled it up and freaking drank this tea. And it was enough neurotoxin to kill like 400 men. And they sat and drank the tea.
Whoa.
And then, go ahead.
What? Okay. I mean, you haven't had a funeral yet, so clearly your child survived. What did you do?
I am paranoid and I am scared of things like salmonella, practical things. And I was like, wash your hands, Milo. So the amount that's excrete, like as long as he didn't put it in his mouth, he didn't put his hands in his mouth.
Okay.
You don't absorb it through your skin. They excrete it through your skin.
Okay.
So they're safe to handle as long as you wash your hands afterwards and don't
and not lick
your hands or touch your eyeballs. But then we actually have a video of it, of the occurrence of like, whoa, look at this cool newt. And like our neighbors across the street, they're an elderly couple, we're friends. They were there. They happened upon the scene. And there's a video of Milo holding it and Mitch saying something, oh, geez, I hope it's not poisonous. And her saying, the older lady saying, oh, no, I'm sure it's fine. And long story short, Mitch was totally right. It was not only poisonous, it's stupid poisonous. So poisonous.
The most poisonous.
The most poisonous. And so like they live in our pond and stuff. I don't know. They're just around. Garter snakes have an immunity to them. Fun fact. They've built up an immunity to this. So they are their only like natural enemies. I want to say, I don't know the year. Someone once ate one on a dare, like swallowed one, killed him. Like, so we have talks around here
dead.
in the Pacific Northwest. Never eat a newt. Don't be stupid. Don't eat a newt. Don't swallow a slug. Slugs will also kill you, not for the same reasons. They're just gross.
Yeah.
But yeah, the newts are super deadly. So if I ever need an eye of newt, I know where to get one.
Well, yeah, that's like, I mean, not to like, if you ever need to off anybody,
right?
Hold on to that eye of newt. You just need one eye and to drop it in their coffee.
Yeah, I think we just found the secret of all witches in witchcraft. It is the eye of newt. That is the secret ingredient.
Solved.
Yeah, solved. Solved
Witchery.
Witches. Done. All right.
Like it's an unsolved mystery. Okay. We have it, Aunt Bonnie. She's whistling birds out of a tree.
Okay,
I'm there.
All right.
With you.
So yeah, she whistles birds out of trees. I loved her to pieces. I could and did sit for hours with her and talk the day away over freshly brewed coffee or perfectly sweetened glasses of iced tea. On one of our gap sessions, the topic of ghosts had come up. I wasn't yet a believer and said as much to her. She proceeded to tell me ghosts were real and could at times be quite helpful. This is her story. Early in her marriage, her husband, my Uncle John, got stationed with the U.S. Wildlife Service in a small town in Edenton, North Carolina. There wasn't a lot of choices for housing, so they ended up renting an old farmhouse built in the 1800s. It wasn't very big, just 2 bedrooms upstairs, a small living room, and dining room downstairs, but did have a large kitchen and laundry area at the back of the house. Right after moving in, they noticed strange things happening. Lights and lamps turning on and off, cabinet doors opening on their own, and a faucet in the laundry room sink turning on whenever someone walked by. My uncle chalked it up to being an old house and the plumbing and electricity/wiring being old. He thought the cabinet doors must be out of alignment and just wouldn't stay closed. But my aunt thought differently. She would say things like, "Thank you for turning on that lamp. I was just getting ready to do that myself." Or, "I just washed my hands in the kitchen. I don't need to do it again. But thank you for turning on the faucet for me." Always very polite. Apparently, her good manners paid off. My aunt had a fondness for fresh brewed coffee in an old-fashioned percolator that sat on the stove. One afternoon, she put on the coffee and went and sat down on the couch while it brewed and fell asleep. What woke her up?
Oh, no.
Yeah. What woke her up was someone violently shaking her and calling her name. She distinctly heard someone yelling, "Bonnie, you have to get up." She sat up quickly.
No.
I know. Bonnie. Bonnie. Well, you're Southern. Give me your Southern Bonnie. Do it.
Bonnie. I'm trying to do it dramatically, and it's coming.
Are you either Southern?
Bonnie. No. Bonnie.
What?
I can't do it. I'm too into this story. I'm excited. I want to know what happens.
She sat up quickly and looked toward the kitchen where inky black smoke was starting to pour through the door. She ran into the kitchen just in time to stop a fire. The old ceramic coffee pot had boiled itself dry and melted onto her stovetop. The heat was so bad the varnish was dripping off the overhead cabinets and getting ready to ignite. She ran to the breaker box and turned off the electricity, filled a bucket and doused the stove and cabinets, then slid to the floor and started crying. That is when she felt a hand gently pat her shoulder and say, "It's all right now." A few months later, they had a few friends over for dinner in canasta. My aunt played a mean game of canasta. Only time she...
What is canasta? Sorry, do you know what canasta is?
Is it to do with dice? Nope, because it says deck later. Shit. It's a card game.
Oh, like gin rummy kind of?
I don't know. No, okay. My answer is no. Okay. I do not. I've heard of canasta. It sounds like a 1950s card game is what it sounds like to me. I don't know. Okay,
and she's good at it. All right,
and
cool.
Have you heard of canasta before?
No.
Okay, I've at least heard of it. Bridge, canasta, they're of the same era, I think. So My aunt played a mean game of canasta, only time she ever got competitive. She laid down a card, looked at the lady she was playing against, and said, "If you pick up that deck, I'm sending my ghost home with you." That was a terrible Southern accent.
You're doing marvelous.
Okay. The lady laughed and picked up the deck. Oh, damn. That's some balls.
Oh,
lady.
shit.
Damn. The next morning, that lady called my aunt and begged her to come get this ghost. Told her all night long. Lights were turning on and off and cabinet doors were banging open and closed. My aunt calmly told her she would be by after church to pick him up. And she did. Love it so hard.
Oh my God, I love that so much.
They lived there 5 years, and when they moved back home, she invited the ghost to move with them. But apparently it didn't, as she never had anything else like that happen again.
Wow, Bonnie. Oh, what a dream.
Love it. My
was the girl who told the story?
Dora.
Boy? Dora. Oh, it's marvelous. Beautifully written. I love that so much.
Maybe one of my favorite hauntings so far, I think. Not creepy, just a good old, and he was got her back. That ghost had her back. He's like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna haunt this bitch. She picked up that deck. I'm on it, Dora.
Yes.
Love it.
Bonnie. Yeah, he's got Bonnie's back, man. Oh, I love that. Oh, amazing.
Oh yeah, it was Bonnie.
Good job, Dora.
Yeah.
Good job, Dora.
Beautiful. All right, so do you have any stories this evening, my friend?
Yeah, I've got some family ones too. I mean, not from my family.
Oh, okay.
But
I'm not related to Dora or Bonnie.
This story comes from Sarah. My grandma told me a story I'll never forget. My grandmother recently passed. She was 99 and lived a very full life. She had an amazing husband, traveled, and had 2 beautiful kids that she raised with only one hand because she had a stroke the day my mother was born in 1950.
Oh, shit.
She worked the night shift at the hospital and during the day raised her children. One freezing cold night, she said she was trying to get into her enormous Cadillac to go to work, that she would drive with one hand, but the doors were frozen shut. She saw a man walking down the street and flagged him down to ask for help. She thought how weird it was that he was out on a night like that just walking around. He opened the door for her without any problems, as if the door was never even frozen shut, and asked her to get in the car and shut the door behind her. She said she put her purse down, looked up to thank the man, and he was completely gone, leaving only one set of footprints in the snow, her own. She said he must have been her guardian angel, and that is the story I live with for the rest of my life. That was the day that I began realizing that there were spiritual beings in our universe. I miss my grandma so much, but will forever remember this story.
Oh, I love that. I have goosebumps. I got goosebumps with the only one set of footprints. That got me. One. Badass grandma.
Yeah.
One hand.
Seriously.
Raising kids.
Yes.
And then she also works as a nurse. What the? Amazing. I also want to say if Milo was part of this conversation, he would have suggested to grandma to use the mouth to open the door. That would have been his approach as one did, as my child did today. Hands full. What else are you going to open the car door with? The mouth.
Milo, no.
Mouth, tongue, teeth. Lips. Give it a whirl, Grandma. Come on. Put your back into it, Grandma.
He has not been in frozen enough weather. You know, if that happens, her tongue's getting stuck on that door handle.
Milo's going to learn that the hard way.
Yep. Come winter time.
Okay. Freaking Grandma, though. Badass. Hell yeah.
She deserves all the awards. Raising literally single-handedly. That's, yeah.
Amazing. I love that story.
Do you have another story?
I do. I do have another story. Okay. This story comes from Kingsley, and Kingsley says, my friend and I encountered the strangest and most terrifying thing we've ever seen while backpacking in Thailand. I have no explanation and would love insight. My friend and I had been backpacking through Asia for a couple of months before moving back to the States. Towards the end of our trip, we stopped in Phuket. I don't know if that's is that how you say that? Phuket? Is it Phuket?
That's how I've always said
Phuket.
it. It's probably, if I think it's Phuket. Maybe put it at the emphasis on the
Phuket.
Phuket. I don't know.
I don't know either. We'll just call it Phuket. Please tell us how to pronounce that. I didn't look it up. In Phuket, Thailand. In Phuket, Thailand. Is it Thailand? Now I don't know how to say any words. In Phuket, Thailand, and checked into an Airbnb for the night. The night we checked in, we had gone to bed as usual, sharing the bed as we had done the whole trip. I was dead asleep when I woke up to my friend clutching my arm tightly with a look of pure terror on her face. As I looked at her, completely confused as to why she's terrified, she said, "Do you see it?" And shakily pointed to the corner of the room.
No, the corner.
Always the corner.
Every time.
On her side of the bed. I looked up and saw this large figure moving and expanding and collapsing into itself at the same time. It felt as if the energy was being sucked from the room. It appeared a mixture of black and glowing metallic red. It did not resemble a human at all. My brain really couldn't even fully comprehend what I was seeing. So naturally, I responded to my friend by shakily pointing to the corner as well and responding, "Yeah, it's growing." The really weird part is the last thing I remember was pointing, feeling scared, and then I woke up in the morning. I fell asleep, but it's more like I just blacked out. The next day, we didn't even discuss it. We said, "That was strange, huh?" and moved on. Recently, years later, we compared notes about what we had seen and experienced. Our notes aligned in every way. What we saw, passing out, how we felt. It's one of the strangest things that has ever happened to me, and I could never really think of an explanation as to what we experienced.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing and terrifying.
It is. You know what it almost reminds me of is the Harry Potter. What are those things? The big dark things that
Dementors.
It kind of like sounds like a Dementor to me a little bit. Yes. Like what's under the hood? If it was an unhooded Dementor just going about its
and they're
business.
Sucking that energy, sucking your life force out. Like they pass out because it's sucked the energy from them.
Yeah. And if it was just
Bananas.
One person, I would think sleep paralysis. That's what I would go with.
For sure.
But it was two of them and they both saw the same thing. And then I really wish they had talked about it the next morning. But years later, they both still remember it. And it's like it sounds like it's the only thing that had happened, which is kind of not what we are about, but one of those things that doesn't align with the normalcy of life.
I was just going to say, besides the corner thing, it isn't even the normal ghostly MO. It's like not even a normal human form. It's just like this mass.
Yeah. Like I'm almost picturing a storm cloud with like lightning inside of it, but red lightning that's just expanding and contracting.
See, I envisioning almost something even just heavier, just sucking
into
light.
The corner.
Ooh.
Why the corners?
Yes.
Stop it with the corners.
God.
At least it didn't rush at him, or maybe it did, and that's why they blacked out. So, do you want to hear a possible explanation for what this could have been?
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
So, I only have 3 pieces of paper. Somehow I have the magic ability to make 3 sound like 30. So Jody tries to make this person feel better and share their experience and says, "When I was a kid, I once saw a black silhouette of a man's figure standing sideways with its head facing me, but slightly bowed. It had glowing red eyes, and we stared at one another for about 20 seconds. I started to back away as fast as I could. I started to power walk away. I started to power walk / jog away, but every time I looked over my shoulder, it was still there until I turned a corner and finally it was out of sight. I still remember it so clearly to this day. It was essentially a black mass shaped like a person, but had glowing red eyes, and it stared at me for a while.
That's a shadow person.
That's a shadow person.
I know. Yeah, I know that terminology now. And the red eyes, like the Hat Man sometimes.
Yeah, that's who I thought of.
Red as shadow person.
I'll just say my favorite part of that story was the fact they power walked away from it. Honestly, you don't just run
because you envision
it's gonna like power walk. I don't like.
They're like in a sweatsuit,
trying to be casual, but they're like, yeah, I don't know. Okay, so someone says, "Yep, that's a Djinn." It's Djinn, so I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Yes, that's so funny that I literally I've heard that before, but I was just reading about it today.
Oh, really? What did you read about a Djinn?
I only just breezed over it, but the person I was reading had said that ghosts are just a human made up term, and what they're really meaning are Djinn, and that it's kind of demonic. Oh, but that's all I really know.
Ooh.
What did you say?
Yeah, well, some says, yep, that's a Djinn. Pretty standard appearance. It's easier to see that sort of thing as a kid because our minds haven't yet become so hard locked on the physical.
Now I feel like I want to research what a Djinn is.
I did Wikipedia a Djinn. Do we want to hear the Wikipedia explanation of a Djinn?
Oh, I think I do.
Okay. So according to Wikipedia, the very reliable source of all, it says, in Islamic context, the term Djinn is used for both a collective designation for any supernatural creature and also to refer to a specific type of supernatural creature. Therefore, Djinn are often mentioned together with devils. Both devils and Djinn feature in folklore and are held responsible for misfortune, possession, and diseases. However, the Djinn are sometimes supportive and benevolent. They are mentioned frequently in magical works throughout the Islamic world to be summoned and bound to a sorcerer, but also in zoological treatises as animals with a subtle body. All right, that last part seems very disconnected from the rest of the explanation.
So basically, Djinn is a really broad term, almost sort of like ghost is for.
Yeah, it kind of sounds
people,
like that, and I think that
right?
first explanation
it can be evil.
I almost think that it seems like all ghosts are Djinn, like you said, and that the viewer almost applies the context and applies what they see to it, but it's almost like an illusion, like, or you see its true form. I don't like if it's a skinwalker or something, right? You see the person, you see some sort of it's an entity inhabiting a body, and you see the body, but the true form of the entity is actually like a Djinn. It's this like clouded, dark mass.
Gotcha.
That's how I sort of interpret it. Because when they say about the kids too, that like kids will see the true pure form. Adults see a human form or a shadow person form. You know, they like attribute, when you look at the moon, you see a face. Like that's what we do as humans. We try to make sense of what we're seeing. And a lot of times we seem to see faces and humans and unexplained. So yeah.
That's cool and informative too. Yeah. I haven't ever come across a story that was like that. So I'm into it.
I'd be freaked the fuck out. Or maybe there was just a carbon monoxide leak in their villa.
I'm a little
who knows?
I'm a little curious. Did they stay the like 2-night stay?
I don't
or were
know.
they just like, Bye.
I'd be freaked the fuck out. I don't know if I'd stay there again. I don't know. Evil spirits, what happened in this Airbnb? Was it a curse? It didn't sound positive. I don't know. We don't know.
I know. That's cool. I love sort of the big mystery of it all too.
The traveling stories, being in a foreign land and then having something stupid, creepy happen to you. Ugh.
I know.
Take me home, country roads.
I have another story that has nothing to do with that story. But I've got a little bit of a grandma theme going with my stories.
Bring it. I wish I did too, because that one creeped me out. My story creeped me out. I liked Aunt Bonnie, and now I'm like all creeped out about evil clowns in the corner. Okay.
Dark corners do scare me. I'll confess that. All right. So this story comes from Alexandra. She says, my 3-year-old son has been mentioning grandma for the past 2 weeks randomly. I never thought much of it, but kept saying, who is grandma? As he calls his grandparents, Nana. Oh, he calls his grandparent Nana, not grandma. And no one mentions the word grandma around him, ever. Anyways, last night I'm laying in bed with him trying to make him sleep, and he mentions grandma again. So I said, where is grandma? He says, the kitchen. I got a little weirded out by it and said no more. Now tonight he mentions this grandma again, and I said, where is grandma? He points at his side of the bed. I repeated myself twice with the question. So, what is grandma doing? He said, stamping feet, angry.
What?
But then I asked, is grandma nice? He said, yeah, nice. Give grandma a hug and kiss. Now, the weird thing about this all is I had a great grandma that died when I was around 10. She was my dad's grandma and never got to meet my son. He doesn't seem scared in the slightest. He's completely casual about it all. I showed him a photo from my parents' wedding day. On the photo are 5 people stood in a row. My dad, my grandma, the one that I'm talking about, my great nana, my mom, and my other great nana. Keep in mind, she is the only one in the family that we call grandma. He looked and he pointed straight at her and said, Grandma! So Alexandra goes on to say that she ends up connecting with a medium, and the medium confirmed that this is 100% her great grandmother, and that her son was right. And she had told them that she absolutely adores her son, and that she is at peace with all of this. So yeah, great grandma's coming to visit and like hanging out with the son.
Okay. I love that. I love like the photo confirmation and just that that moment of recognition that they like couldn't possibly have unless they were seeing him. But if grandma's at peace, why was grandma stomping her feet at bedtime?
That's a good question. Maybe she's frustrated that she can't communicate with her granddaughter. Maybe the grandma's upset that the girl isn't recognizing that she's there and realizing who she is, and she's just like, it's me, because the son's not scared of her at all.
True. And now I'm fuck. Or possibly, do you think it's possible that they had been tossing a frisbee earlier that day and she's still real sore about it? Maybe the little boy, we don't know the backstory, he got hit right in the eyeball with that frisbee. And she's like shit parenting.
I told you.
Yeah.
Told you.
Yeah. And then you went up and you got that frisbee off the roof. Ooh! Ooh! That makes me stamp my feet.
I have one more little bite-size story that's sort of along this same vein from Tina.
Okay, lovely. I love that. Anything with kids seeing ghosts. Like, can we just make our whole podcast about that, please? Just everybody tell us your weird-ass kid seeing ghost stories. That's all I want.
All day long.
SkeleTales. We're SkeleTales. We're just like VeggieTales.
DuckTales more than VeggieTales. VeggieTales a little too much Jesus.
Oh, yeah. I forgot there's a Jesus part. We could keep in all those Jesus parts that they're singing.
We do sing on the podcast.
I have not watched VeggieTales. My mom did send the children a VeggieTales book, and it's about Jesus. I didn't know they were all about Jesus. I thought it just was that one. I don't know.
They sneak him in with your vegetables there.
Yeah, what is fun about... Okay, wait a minute. Wait, what the hell is the appeal of this story, that show? What do kids love more than Jesus and vegetables? That sounds like a fucking... Who had that idea? And then it was like, you know what? Fucking brilliant. Brilliant. I'm going to make... yeah. And it worked.
But they weren't wrong.
It was. They weren't wrong. How?
All right, we're changing our logo to a tomato head from now on. Although that's not a vegetable, that's a fruit. Okay.
Jesus taking a bite of a tomato with eyeballs. Okay, go ahead.
Tina says, I was 8, and the day my dad's mom crossed over, I saw her at the schoolyard gate. I got up to sharpen my pencil and looked out the window, and there she was. I waved, and she waved back. That afternoon, Mom came to pick me up at school. She said I was a walk-to-school kid, and I could tell that she'd been crying. I asked what was wrong, and she said, Grandma was gone. And I said, oh, she's just probably walking home still. Which way did you come? And Mom was like, what? So I said, she was after lunch. I saw her at the gate and I looked out the window and she waved to me. And that's when I learned what gone is a euphemism for.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Grandma came to see her though before crossing over. She came to see and just wave from the schoolyard.
I love that. And I love that just the innocent response of, oh, she just probably took the other way home. What do you mean? She's not gone. She just, she just took the scenic route. Oh my God. I love that. I really, really thought I had a ghostly experience on Saturday because I got a phone call from my good friend's father. Never, ever have I gotten a call from, but he also has lung disease. He was given 5 years to live approximately 5 years ago. So I was like, what the heck? And I called back right away because I wanted to make sure. I'm like, is everything okay? What's going on?
Yeah.
And nobody answered. And so I did text and I was like, I think your dad just butt dialed me from his house phone. How do you do that? I don't know. You can't do that. But part of me was like,
did he die and then call you?
That doesn't seem to be the case. But we talked about the clock stopping and phone things, or if there's just some electrical surge in my brain, because I am just like this. If I used to have that bubblegum tape, the 6 feet of bubblegum. I used to,
yes.
I'm the first time I ever got that, I'm like, oh, fuck, there might be a firefighter stuck in a sewer and they really need 6 feet of bubble gum at some point to get them out. I am I swear to God, I had these thoughts. I don't know. My brain just goes for it. So in my brain, I was this surge of energy went out and everybody that I knew, everyone got this phone call. It's going to be this mysterious phone call on their message. I thought it was
the same time.
Yeah, that's what I was going for. But thank God he's still alive. He is lovely. He has grandchildren. I want him to live I want him to defeat all the odds.
Can we go back a little? Can we go back and envision some firefighters trapped down a sewer drain or something? And little 9-year-old Alissa was don't worry, guys, I got you. Opens the 6 feet of
6 feet of bubble gum
down there. And they're thanks, kid. And you rescue the day. They grasp on and you just pull them to safety.
Yeah.
And then everybody gets to have a delicious snack afterwards.
True. Well, I was trying to conserve the bubble gum too. I was okay, I'll have a bite now. This should still be okay. 5 feet of bubble gum should still be able to save them. Oh my God. Okay. I don't know. A lot of my, I don't know why a lot of my like fantasies as a kid involved sewer drains and sewers. It's like a lot where a lot of those took place for some reason.
I blame Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Maybe that is it. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, possibly it. But yes, my 6 feet of bubblegum, literally, I don't know. I still have that active imagination. It just gets a little spark, ignites it, and I'm just like, the possibilities
I love it.
Are endless.
I love it. If you have a story that you would like to share, short, long, sweet, sour, spooky, spookier, we are here for it. Heck yeah. You can email us.
You can at SkeleTalesPodcast@gmail.com. You can also call us and leave us a message.
Our phone number is 302-689-DEAD. 302-689-3323.
You could also DM us on all the socials. We're SkeleTales Community on Facebook. We are SkeleTales Podcast on Instagram. We're SkeleTales Pod on Twitter. DM us your stuff. We will share it all.
Yeah.
Tell a friend.
Yes, tell a friend. Also, if you've got a second, rate and review us. We also have a merch shop.
We do. And it's on Etsy. And you can find the link tree on our Instagram with all of our links, honestly. Just go through it. Go do every single thing.
And gather some stories for us, people.
Please harvest some stories. Ask some people for their ghost stories. It's a great way to connect to your relatives and families. Like, just like get those family. I want to hear some good old family lore. Tell me some family stories. It doesn't necessarily have to be supernatural. It can be about old Aunt Peggy who lived in the jungle and was raised by wolves. I want to hear that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely want to hear that story.
Anything.
Come on, Aunt Peggy.
Yeah. Peggy. Wolf Peggy. Peggy Wolf. Ow. Bow. Yeah.
Alissa.
Oh, Britt, what? What?
Haunt y'all later.
Haunt you later.
Good night.
Good night.
If you enjoy conversations about true ghost stories or a good fictional scary story, True Hauntings and Scary Stories is the podcast for you. Our odd-numbered episodes are conversations about anything paranormal between my sister and I, or sometimes a guest host. Our even-numbered episodes are me reading my own fictional scary stories. Search for True Hauntings and Scary Stories on any major podcast app, or visit truehauntings.com for more info.